So since I didn't leave till after 3 yesterday from Manzana Schoolhouse, I only made it about 6 miles up this canyon. It wasn't bad for the last part of the Sisquoc, but once I was up Horse Canyon proper, it's been fun. I mean, there are ducks and things occasionally. You can see I'm at the old remains of a campsite, but it's all overgrown. At times I'm bushwhacking up the stream, but that's not consistent. At times I get up on this bench and that might work for a little while. And then at times I've got to backtrack a couple 100 feet because I just hit brush so thick, there's no way I'm going through. Now, based on the guidebook, this is going to last for about another 20 miles. I don't know if it's going to get better or worse, what have you, because, vegetation grows over season, so who knows what it was like when Brian was here. Maybe there was a fire somewhere back here, and that'll just take out all the vegetation, though. That tends to leave its own challenges when you go through those. I don't have a real goal today other than go as far as I can. It would be great to make, 20 miles and get through this bushwhack, but, 20 miles of bushwhacking, it would take about 20 hours, so I'm not expecting it. Hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow, I'll be clear. The next section, I've got a little more confidence in being able to make some miles again. This is currently day 10 since I started, and I have to say, being over a quarter of a mile through and knowing some of the sections ahead, this is actually going a little smoother than I had feared, for whatever that's worth. We'll see what the next couple of days brings. My next resupply is a bucket drop at mile 175, and then around mile 233 when I get to the, extended road beach walk, I'm gonna get a hotel and probably take a 0 day and, shower, get a little real food, stuff like that. The cool thing about this trail is it makes no accommodations for resupply or getting to town or anything like that. It's back in the wilderness. I have had cell reception in one little section. Other than that, you're just out here. So I got to take advantage when I have it. And, that'll be a little over halfway point. So that'll be probably good. One of the real pains out here is just all these little flies flying around. They don't bite or anything, but they dive and land on your face. So the entire day I'm swatting them away or blowing them off my face. Well, the ground's a bit hard for my little trowel to make a decent cat hole, but hey, there's actually equipment here. How can you tell I've been in a good bushwhack? My side pockets absolutely fill up with branches and everything. I'm spending a not insignificant amount of time here picking foxtails out of everything. These gators do help quite a bit keeping them out of the socks, but there's no helping it. Feels like I removed a good ½ pound of these foxtails from my shoes. Not that it's gonna matter, because I have to go through a whole hell of a lot more. They weren't dried out until this point, so they weren't a big issue. I've had this occur several times and block my progress. I can climb down into it, but it's kind of iffy on the mud. Oh, finally. Been out of water for a few hours. So many bugs. So there's really nothing on the map that gives me any indication where there's going to be water or where there isn't. I'm about 4.5 miles from camp, and I haven't had any water in that entire section. And I was basically dry and getting pretty thirsty. Again, the guide says that there's probably water, but it doesn't really indicate where. I got to Manzana camp and I was expecting water there, and turned out it was, a ½ mile away in either direction. I still have to balance how much water I'm willing to carry versus the weight, especially on all this uneven terrain. Having too heavy a pack is putting me at risk for a broken ankle. I had a pretty bad twist yesterday. And that's the last thing I want, obviously. So what I do is I just drank about 2 liters of water. I'm not thirsty anymore. One of those was full lemonade, so I can get it down quick. And now I have both of my little bottles filled. So I've got 2.5 liters on me, which should be good for a decent chunk of the day. Hopefully I will find water again before I drink all of that, at which point I'll drink 1.5 liters, 2 liters of water, and, onward and onward. This is the end of Horse Canyon for me. I've got to cut over to South Fork of La Brea Creek, and I have some beta that going up and over that is easier than going up the creek. For the record, if this is the easier way, I didn't find it. This looked easier than it turned out. I'm just bad at the angle of proposing. So the trick is basically to use the vegetation as handholds and treat it like third class. Be easier from here. Okay, much more doable. I think that little saddle is my goal. There we go. So I just have to get down to those oaks where that cow trail starts, and then I drop down into that canyon. Should be another campsite around that corner, and I go around the far side of that hillside. No matter how remote some of these spots seem, there's always signs other people have been here. I've seen a handful of plastic bottles left behind. Damn it. And again, god damn it. Well, this is Hiawatha camp. If there's an actual cleared camp, I haven't found it other than an old fire ring back there. Decided I better top off water again before starting this next section. There's a note saying it's the worst, so can't wait. Ah, the joys of bushwhacking. Yeah, that was a pretty epic bushwhack through raspberries there. I guess you could set up camp here, but I wonder what the story is behind this campsite. It's Hiawatha, and I don't know how much better this next canyon is. Well, here we go again. I had a waypoint in this section saying, whoa, it was the worst section. That all seems relative though. So if you wonder, oh, aren't there snakes out here? Yes. And he didn't even care that I just bushwhacked right by him. Oh good, a duck. Good to know I'm on trail. Okay, well that's been a mile and a half of hell. So I'm supposed to go up this hillside somewhere. So you see that saddle? I guess the back green patch. Pretty sure that's what I came over. I actually climbed up that, walked down and down, and then spent a good painful amount of time going down there, up there, and here. The other interesting thing is the old USGS layer actually shows a trail used to exist here. Wonder how long ago that was. Okay, just cross country across a few random canyons. You know, it's one thing to have to side hill and bushwhack, but I could really do without the yuccas, you know? Crap, there's just nothing here. Okay, not a moment too soon. I was just figuring I was going to have to spend the night without any extra water. It's just about dark and I just found water, so I'm going to make this work. This is the first section of this trail where I'm wondering what the hell I'm doing here. It took me 10.5 hours to do about 10 miles, and you know, it's not particularly pretty or anything like that. It's just, you know, obliterated scrub. There's no trace of a trail. I'm getting poked by yuccas, whacked in the face by branches. Hopefully it changes tomorrow.